And the thing is also, even how I'm gonna get that.
How are you gonna get what? What are you on about, man?
The recording.
Welcome to the NX Prediction Live channel.
You know what I mean?
I got my boy Jay here. This is Drez, and then we got a special intellectual ingenious here, Madam Two Swords. All right. So, what are we gonna talk about today, Jay?
I don't know. Depends on what you want to talk about, I guess.
Oh man, I want to talk about the NX, the predictions of what will and what I'm gonna say. You can say it's rumors or whatever in it, but it's nice just to spout nonsense of what could be, you know, what could be the future. You know, when we watched Back to the Future and it was like hoverboards 216, well, bam. We didn't get hoverboards.
We did, technically.
Well, CC, but that's another chat for another time. You see what I mean? That's another chat. This is my point, my friend. My point. So, NX, man, what are your first thoughts?
Well, I think Nintendo should need to make a console that's like more. It needs to be as powerful, if not more powerful, than the PS4 now, because PS4 is like 4 years old. So it 2013. Okay, 3 or 4 years old. And that technology, like, it moves so quickly. So it can't be as the same specs that the PS4 was when it came out. It needs to be more powerful, especially considering how underpowered the Wii U was when the PS4 came out. So Nintendo needs to have that beast in a box. It needs to, and it won't be overly expensive, I don't think, because...
It needs not to be, otherwise it's going to have trouble.
Well, again. Sony doesn't have trouble with that, but they don't mind selling consoles at a loss until they start making money. But Nintendo don't have that option because...
Well, won't they have that if they combine the DS, what they were talking about, the handheld market with the console market? Because instead of dividing the funds, they've got one funds, which therefore they can now support.
Well, they did merge those two divisions, so that's what kind of is adding this fuel to the fire that the console will be like a handheld, portable, home console hybrid type thing. And I think that would work, but I don't... It's weird, because I think solely because of the unique idea, that could be a really unique selling point for Nintendo, is having games that look like top-notch AAA games that you can walk around with. Because even mobile gaming is getting quite advanced, but it's still not looking that spice. So if you could get that whole idea and you walk away from your console, but you're still playing games of that caliber, that right there is a unique selling point for Nintendo. So I think, yeah, they need to have... It can't just be a powerful box. It's obviously going to have that Nintendo flair on it too. I think, obviously, keeping the gamepad is like a really good idea. It's a really good control pad, but they need to make it more ergonomically friendly, and they need to make it slightly less clunky and have better battery life and a better...
You're saying it needs to flow in every matter of the word.
Yeah, it does.
Stay true like the 64 days where you put it in and it just loads instantly.
Yeah,
everything is just seamless. No matter how beautiful it looks, it still manages to pull off that sexy, seamless power.
Yeah, because some people were saying that it... Well, there's one guy on YouTube I was watching. He said that it might use game cartridges, but I don't see Nintendo doing that. Critics and game journalists are just so cynical. They'll just be like, that's the stupidest thing.
What about micro SDs then? Like, you know, like that still gets slipped in, and if you can play games off that, that's
wouldn't be a bad idea.
Mechanic, but effectively.
The problem is size. You don't, because you have Blu-rays. I think they hold 8. No, they don't hold 8. They hold more than that. They hold a certain amount, format size. And there's no SD card on the planet that holds that much. Or even if it did, it wouldn't... I don't think it would run as smoothly
as it needs to.
So I think I don't think Nintendo are going to get Blu-ray. They're going to probably do their own disc thing again. But it needs to be like terabyte. I don't even know if that exists. But like, have a disc that's capable of holding a whole lot.
Sorry to interrupt you, Jay. But what if, they were going to use the cloud? I've heard rumours here and there from different channels myself.
That's a terrible idea.
Well, but if they use the save data maybe for the cloud, whatever they need to do to divide the processing speed, so the console isn't doing multiple things itself in one place.
Yeah, save data, cloud saving is kind of a no-brainer, because Sony and Xbox are already doing that, and that's really useful because it takes a lot of pressure off the hard drive. So if you did upgrade it to like a solid state and you only got like 250 gig on there, you don't want all your games to be taking up the space. So it's kind of like have that allocated for each Nintendo, or was it my Nintendo
Network ID.
Now, have like 10 gigs of cloud storage to give everyone, and they can just put their file saves on there. And then you can have the bulk of the games, because you are going to have digital game downloads and stuff. But I think I heard someone...
Which I feel like that should be connected to the cloud, but then if it's connected to the cloud, it also needs to be tethered from there to play.
Yeah, that's terrible. Issue. It just wouldn't work. Because it was like on live. There was that thing BT was doing on live. And it worked for like not very long, because BT's broadband is so unpredictable. You're playing a game and it's just laggy. Nobody wants to play games. Especially with like
when you're
graphics now.
Players.
Exactly. Even single player games, multiplayer games, and you have games that are running at like 1080p, 60 frames per second.
If there was a way to play it double end through the console, and at the other side also has it downloaded the same, and they're both running, so if one was to fail, it acted like a cell face. And then you would only lose a part of your speed since, the console took over seamlessly.
Well, there was that pattern that was describing something a little bit like that. That was saying, like, through cloud computing, a lot of the processes could be done through the cloud, so it would alleviate some of the pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nintendo have been known to pant some crazy stuff and never use it, but I think if they did use that, that could be a solution to that kind of system. So you could have a streaming service.
Because they've got some seamless games, like you got Splatoon, that's a really seamless.
Yeah, that
I've heard
the
it's got
internet
nice
connection
server
is pretty good.
And it runs nicely.
Yeah.
But then you've got games like Devil's Third that don't run nicely at all.
Yeah, I think that's down to developers too.
Yeah, and it's down to developers, but the game's visuals isn't that great, so it isn't the visual slowing
it's
it down.
It's not that, yeah.
No,
I think that's something also that I think Nintendo have recognized, because they've made this partnership with DNA now, so I think that's something that's really going to help them figure that out, because it's good to just be able to admit when you're not that great at something, which I think Nintendo are kind of conceding at now, like this online thing.
Yeah.
They're not...
It's harder than it looks.
They're not masters of it. Like, apparently, I can't remember where I read it, but they were saying that when they were figuring out the Nintendo Network ID thing for Wii U, and some developers were talking to them about it, like some of the higher ups in the Japanese part of Nintendo, and they were trying to explain to them how it works, like how PSN and Xbox Live works, and they were looking at them like, what are you talking about? Like, and Xbox Live and PSN are so simple from our point of view. Like, it's just you go online, you see your friends, and you play with them. And even now, Nintendo are still playing catch up. So I think this next console needs to just be straight out the gate, group chat, group parties, straight off the bat. Have
group community, yeah.
It needs to that the WeChat thing's a good idea.
Yeah, it was a good idea. They didn't optimize on that. They didn't do anything with it.
What I think they need to do is not have it like an app that you'd have to go into separately. UChat or whatever, because it's not going to be a Wii anymore. They're dropping the Wii name. But they need to implement that, all of those ideas, all the talky stuff, all the meeting with people and your friends and all that blah blah blah, into the OS itself. Don't make it an app. Like, come on, son. I mean, let's be honest. It's a great Skype alternative. It is, but don't make it an app where it's like, oh, that's just in the back of the back. Like, I can't delete it, so it's always there. But I don't use it because I don't really need to. So don't make it into that kind of situation when you're giving people stuff that they're never going to use. Just tell them it's part of the OS in a way that it's going to help you communicate with your friends and talk with them, because they're using this Mitomo, or however you pronounce it, the app.
Yeah, so that's got potential, but I just feel like it's not going to be the way they're advertising it once again.
Well, we'll see, because it's the first time they've ever done something like this, so it's new ground for them and new ground for us.
Did you download that already yet? Because I think you could have downloaded it.
Yeah, I pre-registered for it.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't, I don't know, like I've done it because I made up my Nintendo account as well, so just for that transition that's going to happen. So I think in the coming months, I've heard, but this is the problem with listening to people that make speculations.
Sorry to cut you off there, Junior, like we're almost hitting the 10-minute marker, so do you want to leave anything for our fans listening today over the NX or the predictions? what they could possibly expect?
I don't want to sound like I'm being like I don't have belief in Nintendo, but I'm expecting something that's gonna be very Nintendo-esque at E3. Like what I want them to show is like a new 3D Super Mario, not like new Super Mario Bros. Or World or anything, like Mario
Just
Galaxy.
something completely
It
out
needs
of the
to be
park,
like
new
Mario Galaxy.
altogether. Yeah.
Like,
just
that,
the next level up.
Yeah, like I don't even know. It needs to just.
And
look
it needs
like,
to not just be visuals.
Yeah. Also, I need to see third-party support like Unreal 4 engine games, CryEngine stuff like Witcher or Fallout, all that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah.
Because that will instantly get so many people that have left Nintendo straight back. You can get those games there and.
Because they don't want restrictions in it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo doesn't have to drop the whole idea that they're family friendly, but it's good to not pretend that there aren't gamers out there who don't have families and don't care about that stuff. Like, you can still accommodate for them. Don't just abandon them because the Wii was so good with families. We should just focus on doing family stuff. Like, that was the problem, is that they abandoned who was there before, and everybody's like, yeah, but where's our Golden Eyes and our Perfect Darks and our blah blah blah, and the Wii just wasn't for that.
Don't worry about that. I'll be making those games, remaking them. The Wii U
just wasn't for that either. So yeah.
Alright, man. Well, thanks, man. You had your man dressed today, or Mr.Z, known as now. We got Jay, and then we got the one that never says nothing, but always here listening. Alright. If you guys like this video, please subscribe, like, and let us know how you feel and what information you would like to see in the next episode. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly leave you with the last part of this Arkham Knight gameplay. Enjoy.
Your eyes. Ugh!